Hello guys, it's Caroline, owner of Exclusive Polish. Now guys, today I'm going to teach you guys how to do the 5 different shapes. As you can see today, my model I've already prepped the nails, applied my tips, and then I've already cut the tips to my desired length. If you would like to see how I placed my tips, how I prepared my nail, please refer back to my first video that I made. Now guys, for this video, because we're dealing with shaping, I am going to start with my client thumb. On the thumb here, I'm going to do a shape called a square oval. Okay, now to get a square oval, it's a shape that is square, but it has rounded edges, not edges that are sharp as the tip like that. So to get the shape, I am going to make sure that the bottom part or the free end of my tip is nice and flat or in a straight line. And then after that, I'm going to take the 100 side of my 180 grit file, which is the hard side, and place it like that under the tip and then start filing. When I file like that, I'm peeling off the corners of the tip without touching the sides of the tip per se. Now all you're gonna do to make a square oval is to just get rid of those corners like that. Gentle like that. You see, do you guys see now? This tip is still in a square form, but then it doesn't have sharp edges anymore. It has oval edges. Now I'm gonna go ahead and continue to blend my tip also. If you were not following, I have another video prior to this one where I'm teaching people how to blend the tips and fit them properly. Today I'm using partially whorled tips because I heard you guys were asking about the difference in them. As you can see, my model today has perfect side walls, so partially whorled tips work well for her. Now that's how you achieve your nice square oval, guys. I'm just gonna use my manicure brush to wipe it off so that you guys can see it clearly, and then that will be how your tip will look before your acrylic application. This shape is called a square oval. Remember, after applying your product on top as well, you're going to go back and redefine your shape or crisp up your shape after your application. Now the next shape that I'm going to do on the index finger is a shape called an oval, guys. Okay, an oval is a shape that is mostly rounded, looking very natural on most nails. So to achieve that, I'm gonna use, excuse me guys, my camera moved there for a minute. Now to achieve that, I'm going to use my 100 side of my 180 grit file. I'm gonna touch my tip like that. Do you guys see? And then I'm gonna move it, killing off the corners completely. You need to get rid of the corners. I'm tilting it up and I'm tilting it up the other side like that. Do you guys see how I'm doing myself? That's what you want to do when you're shaping an oval shape. You're working mostly on the top of the tip. Do you guys see how my tip is coming in? Yes, that's what you want. You want your tip to look nice and rounded off like that. What happened on this side must also happen on the other side as well. Just keep to that rhythm without taking your file up, then you should have a shape like that. Do you see? Now we have a nice rounded shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue to blend my tip, this one. Now guys, do you guys know that our index finger is the fastest growing nail? I know you guys didn't know that. Well, I'm just joking, maybe you guys knew. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually blend my tip. You guys will remember in yesterday's video when it came to nail prep, I told you guys that when you blend tips, make sure you don't touch the client's natural nail. You don't want to hurt the client. We are just removing the seam of the tip when we blend. Okay, Now that is how my shape will look like when I'm done. I'm sure you guys realize that I've been keeping to one motion, which is placing my file under the tip like that and just bringing it up and down like that, almost like you're doing a seesaw with your file on the nail. That's all you have to do. You're gonna end up with this nice rounded shape. Now guys, this shape, as you can see, it's a shape that we call an oval. I hope you guys can see that. Now on our next finger, which is our middle finger, guys, I'm going to make a shape called an almond. Oh god, I love almonds. This is like my favorite shape. Now to do my almond, first of all, I'm going to bring the corners in, all the way in. Now guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my almond shape. It's gonna be on my middle finger here. This is, guys, I've already said I love almonds. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to bring the top part of the nail in like that using my file, just the top part. In the beginning, I want to file and bring the nail in like that. Bring it in. You see how it's coming in? I want to bring it in like that. I'm going to do the other side as well. Keep on bringing it in like that. And then I'm gonna bring it in again on the other side until you have almost like a pointed shape like that. Do you guys see? Your tip must form a pointed shape like that. Okay, then you know you're on the right path, shaping your perfect almond. Now an almond has a bit of a pointy but rounded edge, unlike your oval shape like that. It's a bit pointy towards the end like that. So you need to make sure that you really bring it in before you start to round off your sharp points. Now to round off my sharp points, I'm gonna hold my file like this and go kill my sharp points like that. This is all I'm going to do, and I'm sure you guys can already see this nail is forming a nice almond like that. Whenever you shape an almond, try to actually visualize how an almond nut would actually look like really guys, literally an almond nut. That's all you have to do. Give it that pointy edge. Keep on fixing it until it's nice and rounded. The beauty of an almond, you always see it after you put your product on top of your shape like that. Okay, make sure that unlike this oval shape, it's a bit pointed there. That way after you place your product, it's gonna look like a nice expensive peanut, which is an almond. Now I'm gonna go ahead guys and blend my tip, now that I've already turned it into an almond. Okay, excuse me guys, I keep on shifting my camera. Hope I'm not out of focus. I hope you guys can still see. Okay, you must never ever panic when you shape. I always tell people that when it comes to shaping, always make sure that you do less. Keep on checking. Hit it once, check. Hit it twice, check again. It's better to do it over and over again than to go all the way once in one side and then mess up the whole tip, because then you're gonna have to change your tip altogether. Okay, now there goes our almond. Is nice and even. I hope you guys can see that. Now the next shape that I'm going to do for us, it's a shape called a stiletto. Guys, stilettos are so pointy. I really don't know how people use them, but anyway, let's go ahead and do a stiletto. Just like we did with the almond, we're gonna start first by bringing our corners in, like really bring them in, because now we're gunning for a very pointed edge like that. Don't touch the side walls, please guys. When you start your shaping, a tip is very broad. Do not touch all the way down there where the tip is starting, because you're going to open it up by the time you're done getting to your shape. So you just want to start first by hitting the top part until you have almost your desired shape. Then you can start to blend it in properly with the sides. Now I'm going to hold my file again like that and make my nice pointed edge. Do you guys see how I'm not touching this part here of the tip? Do not just continue first, get your tip to go in without touching the bottom part, guys. You don't want to open your tip, you don't want to rip it open because it's not going to look good. Now I'm gonna continue what I do on the left, I'm gonna do on the right as well. Now as you're getting closer to your desired shape, you're going to make sure that now you align your shape with the side walls or the lateral folds. Now as you can see, my stiletto is already coming up like that, and I'm doing one thing over and over again, filing this side, twisting my file and filing the other side, just like that. Take your time, guys, take your time. You cannot rush perfection. Take your time. It's better to spend 2 hours on a set and it comes out beautifully than actually spend 10 minutes on a set and then you have a client that is not happy. Remember, a happy customer is a returning client. You guys always remember that. Easy does it. Now as you can see, guys, there we go. We have our nice stiletto. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend my tip. As I've mentioned earlier, there is a full video on how to blend the tip without hurting the client. As you can see, guys, my model is actually very comfortable. It means my file is not actually hurting her at all. So there we go, guys. Just blending it properly like that. My stiletto. And then voila, can you guys see that? That's how you achieve a stiletto. Guys, remember, after you place your product, you need to file again, redefine your shape or correct your shape, make it crisp, because as you apply the product, it's gonna cover the edges and then you'll find your shape now it's looking a little bit funky in a way that you don't want it to look. Now this last finger, which is our pinky, I'm going to do a shape called a coffin. Okay, there's a slight difference between a coffin and a ballerina. A ballerina comes in a little bit. It's like a coffin that's still broad. And then a coffin is a ballerina that has a very thin, like it really comes in. I'm going to show you guys just now. First, I'm going to start with doing a coffin. Now, I am going to hold my file again like this. You see how my file is touching just the top part of the tip. It's not touching the side, the whole side of the tip. You want your file to touch like that as I bring it in. Sorry about that, guys. You really need to bring your tip in like that without touching the side like this or the bottom part of the tip. So we're gonna start on the free edge and bring it in. We are doing a shape called a ballerina. A ballerina is a subtle coffin, like a coffin that is not too much in, like that didn't come in too much. Like, guys, what am I even saying? But you guys understand them. It's like a coffin that's not too in like that. The edges are not really brought in like that. It's a very slight difference between a ballerina and a coffin. And actually, when a lot of my clients come asking for this shape, which is a ballerina, I don't shape my tip at all. I'll just cut it, put my acrylic or put my gel. Then after, I'm going to shape it a little bit, because like this, it's a ballerina. But if we bring it more, still keeping the same shape like that. Gonna do it for you guys now. We're going for a coffin. You guys see, I'm actually using my file at an angle like that. Take your time, guys. Do you see how much I'm taking my time doing these different shapes? Take your time. It's better to go slow filing than hit one side 20 times and have your tip looking all wonky and really not working for your client. Okay, remember, it's better to work slow than actually fast. Now see, do you see that? Now that is what I call a coffin, guys. This is now a coffin, a ballerina that is looking a little bit thinner towards the top, like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend my tip prior to my application, now that my shaping is done. That's all on shaping, guys. Those are the 5 most common nail shapes that we always go for. Please let me know if there's something else you'd want to know For now, I'm just gonna use my manicure brush to clean up my model's hand, remove all the dust. If you watched my nail prep video, you'll actually remember that after my shaping, I sterilize. Now let's go ahead and sterilize our model's hands, guys. And then you guys can see the shapes properly. Now I'm gonna say them for you guys again. Just a quick recap. This is a square oval. This is an oval. This is an almond. This is a stiletto. This is a coffin. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Catch you on the next video. We'll be doing an ombre. Thank you. Bye bye.